of my head first.
The Clippers is you mentioned the Clippers. I've kind of been saying it early in the year. I just don't think they have enough. I don't think they ever had enough, and I think you absolutely have to blow it up. I just don't see them getting past anybody. Even with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, there's something missing. So I don't know if they got to get rid of one of those guys and bring in some more talent. Or they have to get that third wheel, that's special, but I just think they need more.
Rod, I think you're right about that. And also I think one of the main problems right there with the Clippers is the fact that Doc Rivers is not only a coach and very much vested in the players that he has, but he's the GM. So the GM is sort of supposed to work in contrast to what the coach does. He's supposed to look long-term, and I don't know if he's been able to do that as far as looking at some of the pieces that need to be fixed on him. Luke Mbabute is on the team. He's not giving him very much out of that small forward. You got 3 great players, but you need more there. And is Doc, the general manager, helping Doc, the coach?
I think that's a good point. And like Rod said, I think something's just missing. It's just like everybody wants to believe in them, but really, why? When we saw them lose 3 down, they were up 3-1 over Houston. They used to, beef with Golden State. It seemed like Draymond, took their heart. So, but then again, if I'm on that team, I'm saying, well, this is the one time we can do anything, and I don't care what anyone says. They're gonna change it around because they could surprise some people, but I don't see it happening, man. I see this being a team that we're going to remember as having a lot of talent, but they're not fulfilling, how good they could have been.
Yeah, and
Chris, I want to get...
Go ahead, Ali.
No, I was going to say, Chris, I want to get your perspective on what's going on with the Lakers. Obviously, Magic is coming in as the president of basketball operations. Your former college teammate, Rob Pelinka, super agent extraordinaire, has now been inserted as the general manager. When you heard that Magic was coming in and that, Rob Pelinka was going to come in and get that job, man, what were some of your thoughts in terms of the Lakers moving forward and how they can get this thing back on track?
I was happy to see them empower a basketball player. I think that there's a role for everyone, from, people that do analytics to people that are in managerial positions. But, we've seen the success that Magic has had, in other businesses and other areas. And I think he gives them a validation again. And he, along with Rob Pelinka, I think they can do a good job, there. I hear, people say it's their first time, but everybody is first time sometime on a job. So I think they'll, do the right thing. I think it'll be much better than what they did have there in someone that just because they were a family member got to make decisions. That didn't necessarily mean, they were going to be good at the position. So hopefully it gives them validity and the players respect the organization and want to go there. And hopefully they could bring it back to, to where they want it to be.
And they also got to consider what the Lakers are going through in the front offices, well, not just the front office, but the ownership standpoint. With Jeannie Buss being her brothers are running up against her in court. She's been able to fight them off, but that's still going to be hanging out there as to who is the true leader of the Lakers organization. And obviously the NBA has backed Jeannie Buss, but we hope that doesn't come to a point where it handicaps Magic in any way. And I hope he's able to move forward and make the moves that he's capable of doing. But obviously he's going to need the support of Jeannie, and if Jeannie can actually make that happen and keep control of the team, I think they'll be fine going forward. But that could be a problem lingering going forward.
So obviously the biggest...
One thing we know about Magic, he's going to take control of the situation.
Right.
Magic is Magic, and everybody loves Magic. I think he's able to bring players to the organization. I think people, players who may have not wanted to go to the Lakers will say now, well, Magic's there, so they're going to believe things are going to change just because Magic's there. So I think that helps them, that solidifies them. And I think Magic is Magic, so I think it'll make it happen.
I agree.
Yeah, man. I wanted to get Chris's perspective on Kevin Durant. And now with his injury, with everything they gave up to acquire him, do you see this as sort of leveling the playing field a little bit? Do you feel like it was already, at a point where some other teams can have some realistic expectations of trying to get Golden State? When you see KD going down and other people starting to lick their chops with the emergence now of San Antonio possibly looking like the strongest team, how much is KD's injury, man, in your opinion, is that going to impact Golden State in the race out west?
Well, it depends on how quick KD can get back, But this is the league, so even a healthy KD, they wouldn't have a cakewalk through the league. I still believe that Cleveland Cavaliers with their guards and how their guards play defense, Shumpert and J.R. Smith and those boys, I really believe their defense, can do a little bit something. So I think teams are looking at shots because they want home court advantage, and Golden State can't be as good without their best player. But even if Golden State is healthy, they're still going to have to get through some other great coaches and some situations. Let's not forget, they lost when they were up 3-1 last year. So, teams still see, in the league, no one sees anybody as invincible. You feel you can get somebody. So, they need Durant, but even when they get him back, they still going to have to earn it.
You're tuned in to Strictly Speaking. I am your co-host, Ali Danwad. Joining us is our special guest, Mr. Chris Webber. We also have Gary D. Howard in the passenger seat with us. The great NBA college basketball legend, Mr. Rod Strickland. Rod and CWebb, Dirk Nowitzki just went over the 30,000-point plateau. And I think lost in the sauce of the remarkable seasons that some of the guards are having. I want to get your guys' appreciation of Dirk. Is he the best European player that you guys have ever seen? And just some flashbacks and some memories of Dirk giving out that work.
I'll let you go first, C-Webb.
Okay. Yeah, I think, one of the best. I think you got to put Marciulionis, Petrovic, Vlade, Sabonis up there. But as far as giving buckets, I mean, it's the numbers don't lie. I mean, as far as the guy that had to check him, you knew that, he kind of bridged the gap with Don Nelson to the big fella moving out, shooting the three, working there on that 15-foot post area at the free throw line. So I don't know if anyone thought when he first got in the league if he would, surpass or have the numbers that he has. So I definitely have respect for his offensive game because he was a hard guy to check, man. He was a hard guy to check. Getting 30,000 in this league is no small feat. So congratulations to him, and he's definitely one of the best scorers that the game has seen, and one of the best probably European players that we've seen as far as scoring, definitely.
Yeah, I think he's definitely up there. We got guys like Sabonis and Drazen Petrovic who never really was able to establish themselves, who probably could have been the best European players. But Dirk is definitely up there. I mean, I have a 7-footer that able to do the things he can do. He stretches the court. He handles the ball pretty well. And, a 7-footer who can plays like a semi-guard, play from that elbow area and make plays, that's a tough guard. So, he's definitely one of the best European players to ever play the game.
And it's also so funny. I remember like it was yesterday when the Bucks in 1998 drafted Dirk Nowitzki and traded him for Robert Track, the trailer. At that time, nobody knew very much about Dirk Nowitzki. Obviously, he was being scouted by the Dallas Mavericks, but at the same time, if you look back at this trade, and obviously there's so many people in Bucks history that say that is the worst trade of all time because of the fact that Dirk turned into a 30,000-point player and actually led Dallas to a championship, and the Bucks are still trying to look back to get to a final since 1971. So it was kind of funny that you look at those two guys were kind of attached at the hip because of that trade, but obviously Dallas fleeced the Milwaukee Bucks doing that trade. There's no question about it.
One of the things that's interesting to me is now looking at what Russell Westbrook has done this year, and I think people have fallen into this sense of apathy now where he's doing such crazy things on such a consistent basis that people lose perspective on just how bananas this dude is and the things that he's accomplishing. Chris, when you see this season that Russell Westbrook is having, just looking back through your career and putting things in perspective from your viewpoint, what does this dude's season mean to you?
I mean, I've never seen anything like it. If we all would have bet on who would have been the first to average a triple-double, we probably would have said LeBron just because of his body. The fact that this dude is averaging 10-plus rebounds it's just crazy, man. So, I mean, well, I could probably speak to it better having been a guard and seeing, and I know it's not as many big fellas today, but his energy, his heart to me, the fact that, you know, no one talks about he lost, you know, Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? Like he lost in his, you know, if he had snipers out there on the court that really could shoot, like some other teams, how many assists would he be averaging? You know, so it's just incredible what he's doing. I've never seen nothing like him.
Yeah. I mean, I always say it's his energy, it's his mojo, and it's his will. Because, you know, I was a guard who tried to, you know, I like to get rebounds. I want to triple, but I didn't get many because it's not that easy. And, you know, my 1 year I averaged 5.5 rebounds a game, and I thought that was great. But to be able to do that and for 82 games, I mean, that's almost impossible. And like you said, I mean, there's only one other guy who's ever done it. But I think his will, his mojo, his energy, I mean, that's what it's all about, you know, because he knows when that ball is going up, you got to pursue it. And you got to, I mean, to go out every night and say, I'm going to pursue every rebound. I'm going to get 10 rebounds a game. Then I'm going to make sure I score 30 points a game, and I'm going to give the ball up. You know, that's a concentration level that I think people don't even understand. Like, that's just not easy in itself.
Right.
There's no question about it. I remember Nate Tony Archibald, Hall of Famer Nate Tony Archibald, said if anybody was to lead the league in scoring and assists, which is what he did back in 1970-71 season, he said it would be Russell Westbrook. He said about his energy, his body, and a motor that just does not stop. I watched the game last night where he dropped 58 points on the Portland Trailblazers. I mean, he took 39 shots, but it didn't even seem like that. He made over half of his shots from the field. He still tried to put the ball in the guy's hands to make shots, but he just was unstoppable, whether pulling up for a jumper or just grabbing the ball out of the net and run and beating everybody up the court. I just don't know where he gets his energy from, but he is definitely somebody that's having a special season, and I heard that Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban said that he didn't think that Russell was in the conversation for the MVP, but I beg to differ because that team would not be in the playoffs, wouldn't be in the playoff hunt, wouldn't be where half as good as what they are without every single effort from Russell Westbrook. So I definitely think he's up there in the MVP conversation. There's no question about it, and I think it's going to come down to him and James Harden with LeBron maybe on the outside slightly. But I definitely think this is a season that I've never seen before, and the man is impressing me each and every night.
Yeah. I think Cuban is crazy, number one. He's just talking.
Yeah.
Well, what I like most about Westbrook, he don't care. Like, he don't care. He don't care about anything. He don't care about the media. He don't care about the next coach. He don't care about Cuban. He going to be himself. He going to do it his way. And I like that more than anything.
Yeah, that's a good point, Rod. That's a real good point.
Chris, I want you to talk a little bit about this new TNT platform, the Players Only, because it has quickly become one of my favorite things to watch on television. You know, there's a chemistry there. You're basically driving that ship as the host. Talk a little bit about how this kind of idea came about and, you know, how you see this thing moving, because I think it's got the potential to be the biggest thing going on sports TV.
Well, yeah, no, it's a great opportunity from TNT. They're always pushing the envelope. You know, the number one show to me on TV, you know, sports-wise is, you know, Ernie, Chuck, those guys on Thursday nights. And, you know, we want to be, you know, that second show. They want, you know, the show's Players Only. It's myself, Chris Bosh. Who else is it? Myself, Chris Bosh, Isaiah Thomas, Ben Davis. and you have to have played the game to be part of it. So doing